Pay attention to my good friend, grown up with Mark Abbott and his brother Brian, who could not be here today, but Mark's been a good friend for many years, and in fact, he's a heck of a golfer, as he proved it last night, so I can't tell you that much. But without further ado.
Well, since I couldn't make, I'm not going to be able to make the wedding in Maryland, and I wanted to say something to Bonnie about Greg. Considering,
I'll leave now.
Considering the amount of material I had to write stuff down. So, this is to you, Bonnie. Dear Bonnie, I've known Greg for pretty much all my life, and I'm glad you've agreed to become his wife. I congratulate you on your upcoming wedding, and I wish you the best as your life takes a new heading. But I thought I would share some memories I've listed about this man named Greg Kendall, some normal, some twisted.
One more twisted than the other.
My earliest memories are of playing in the sand with Tonka trucks, tractors, and tools of the land. There were tree forts and swings, and sliding in snow, and blessed be monsters under a summer moon's glow. And of course, sports were a big part of our childhood. It seemed like we played as much as we could. We were always on opposite teams, Greg and me. I with Julie, Mike, or Gordon, and he with my brother B. And if you want or need some more introductions, most of us appeared in Big Mike's MKM Productions. The pro teams Greg rooted for, as everyone knew, were the Minnesota Vikings and the St. Louis Blues. He'd say Tarkington and Foreman were on a championship roll, but it was Greasy and Zonka who took that Super Bowl. Oh. We even played hockey in his driveway at night, where Greg always managed to break a window or light. Greg would spit on his hands when batting in the past and attempt to hit a Dave Kingman-style blast. He taught himself how to bat from the left side, for hitting like Joe Morgan was a source of great pride. When he visited me in Boston, we had some Fenway fun, as we got to see Toby Harrah hit a home run. But of all the games we played through the years, it was his basketball ability that drew the most cheers. I knew I was in trouble because when he was cooking, he seemed to make baskets without even looking. It didn't matter what court or if the hoop was in a pool, Greg made most of his shots with that Dr. K Cool. When he was older, he spent many days playing Sports Illustrated baseball with Willies, McCovey, and Mays. And Greg's Kentucky team faced the ultimate truth that you can't beat Sandy Koufax or stop a Babe Ruth. In school, Greg studied whenever it was prudent, and he really was a deliberate and hard-working student. He learned the value of a teacher as more than a trainer, and I was glad to help him in chemistry for the sake of Ma Boehner. His favorite snack, by far, was Doritos and dip. He could open a bag and easily eat every chip. Now, Bonnie, this is important. If he attempts to try this with you, keep the windows wide open and give him a Tagamet, too.
Sure he knows.
Greg was always an audiophile, but his family he annoyed with his booming clip speakers playing endless Pink Floyd. And he liked concerts and attended most eager. I went with the Kendall brothers to a gig by Bob Seger. His taste in cars, well, I've got to be frank, the urban assault vehicle was a Porsche of a tank. And when going out, waiting for Greg was a standard routine, as he combed his hair in the hall until it had that perfect sheen. Of course, waiting for him now is even more of a pain, since like most of us, he needs a dose of Rogaine. Outings with Greg were frequently filled with tomfoolery. like the visit we made to Toronto's Molson Brewery. And I think beer was the culprit at a golfing spree when his club disappeared on Tanner Valley's 15.
Tree God got that.
Chiefs games were fun. Greg was a big fan, especially with old buddy Ned, aka the Marked Man. In his stockbroker days, he couldn't give me help when I bought a bump stock from a company called South. But he did a fine job on a NASDAQ stock and made money for his mom on the heels of Reebok. So many memories, so little time. I've come to the end of my rhyme. I sincerely wish you much happiness and a promise to make to remember this day out at Skinny Atlas Lake. You are lucky to find a man with such class, and he's lucky too in finding a true Bonnie lass. Finally, just one more word needs to be said. Our gift isn't for wine, it's for a new bed.
I can only say one thing about what Mark said. It's all true.
None of it's surprising.
Yeah, of course. None of it's surprising to Bonnie as she finds out. But I sincerely want to